Hello, beautiful Libras. I'm having my coffee with you this morning. I hope everybody had a great weekend. I hope you don't mind, Libra, but I've got this beautiful set of past life cards that I wanted to use in your read. I'm very interested to know what's going on for Libra. Past life information on Libra. Past life information on Libra. What's going on with Libra with this past life situation, and how is it influencing their current life? Oh, very wise with finances in a past life. You had a lot of wisdom and you had a lot of finances in a past life. Biblical wisdom. Oh, you could have had imprisonment or slavery in a past life. You were very wise. You could go as far back as biblical days. You have a history of some past life of imprisonment or slavery. And maybe you were imprisoned or enslaved because you had finances and were wise. Some of you could have been writers or scribes, biblical scribes or biblical writers. Some of you have a history of being on the ships, and you could have written journals or something about slavery or imprisonment or ships. You were very wise. You had a lot of wisdom. Yeah, you've probably gone through without food and hunger. I'm thinking you had a spouse in a past life, and if I'm not mistaken, you probably had the same spouse in this lifetime or will. Did a lot of traveling and a lot of leaving. You had trust and faith because you were persecuted, and probably a lot of you went through Inquisition. You could have been deemed as witches because you had a lot of biblical knowledge or spiritual knowledge. Everybody in those days, you could have been imprisoned or enslaved because of your belief systems. It's like you went through the Inquisition, where they burnt witches at the stake, and it's like if you had any spiritual knowledge in those days, it was like automatically you're deemed as a witch. But many of these were healers, if you knew how to gather roots, you were like, oh, they're a witch. You might have been a natural healer. You know what I mean? Trees are very important to you. If they're important to you in this lifetime, they were important to you in a last lifetime. Communal living is what you used to do. Interesting, Spirit. Some of you were a mother, and that's what I said. You had some health knowledge. You were informative about health matters. I knew that right away. Some of you were into healing, and people may have deemed you as like a witch and went through requisition. You could have been imprisoned or enslaved, sent to slavery, sent on a ship. You were doing communal living, and you experienced a lot of hunger. Why? Because you were very wise. and you likely had finances. But it's almost as if you were suspected of something because you had finances. That's why, if finances are an issue for you in this lifetime, it is because of a phobia of a last lifetime. It's like you could have been imprisoned because you had finances or skills or knowledge, and to you in this lifetime, it's almost like you're, I'm hearing scared to have it. Maybe some of you have a blockage in that area in this lifetime. Others of you, it comes second nature to you to know how to have these. Yeah. In a past situation, you've experienced unrequited love. Authority figures. Because of authority figures. Some of you were in knights, in the knighthood. Some of you took vows, something to do with the baby. Some of you have Asian origins, but the vow is to forgive. Some of you took vows in a prior life. You made a vow to a baby. This lifetime, you're asking, or someone's asking your forgiveness. You made a vow in a past lifetime, whatever it was, that if you came back in this lifetime, I don't know, some of you were knights, some of you were on ships, some of you were enslaved, went through persecution and inquisition, probably hunger. Trees are important, which means, you know, somebody could have been hung, somebody could have, you know, a lot of you made vows in a past lifetime that this lifetime forgiveness is key here. Someone needs to ask your forgiveness. Probably this unrequited love situation, that's why you were in this lifetime. Maybe they vowed in this lifetime, if they got the chance, to like seek your forgiveness, or these people that did you harm were supposed to seek forgiveness from you. That's why you have connections to certain people. They were actually people you knew in a last lifetime. Very interesting read here, guys. But you probably were persecuted because of your beliefs, your spirituality, and your religion. And like I said, many of you could have been healers or had spiritual gifts and were deemed as a witch. And maybe some of you were hung and enslaved and imprisoned. It's persecution. And now a father is important here, and so is a farm. That's what I said. Some of you were medicine men or medicine women. You were in the healing arts. And you could have been deemed like you, because you had wisdom. And likely you had finances. And in those days, anybody who had a nickel was suspected of something. Where'd you get your money? You know, they could have enslaved you, hung you, persecuted you. That's why in this lifetime, you're such strong people, because you've been through it. And that's why some people in this lifetime, and you may not know why, it's like you have either a strong love for a person or a strong emotion of hatred or something. These are people in a past lifetime who have come back in this lifetime to seek some sort of forgiveness. Whether they do that or not, that was their goal. What you had was a strong spiritual or a religious knowledge, wisdom. Maybe that's why in this lifetime you're seeking justice. I don't know, Libra. Somebody was just experiencing life as it comes, being a drifter. See? This beloved, the radical acceptance. What a G spirit. That's a lot to ask of a human being, I know that. Learning forgiveness. Beloved, a radical acceptance, a radical acceptance. Dances on one foot, a balancing act. Learning to be balanced, having to have an acceptance. Told you it's ancestral wisdom. These are skills, talents, and knowledge that have been passed down from lifetime to lifetime through the ancestors. Your wisdom, finances, by the looks of it, it's like all this persecution, all this imprisonment, all this hunger, all this everything. That's how come you have so much ancestral wisdom, and you did in a prior life. The beginner's mind, first breath, new life, had a clear intention. The divine feminine to birth this child that you had in a past life. Or you're giving birth in this lifetime to the gifts that you had in a last lifetime. Yes, that's why the universe is your partner. Because they know the injustices that were done in a prior life. There's this gestation period, guys. The winter's dream, a gestation period. It's either giving birth to this child that you vowed from a last lifetime to have in this lifetime is coming back. If you're not pregnant and you do not have children, it is taking time to bring into fruition all this wisdom, all this finances from a prior life. Everything has consequences. Everything, the feast of plenty, choices and the consequences. Everybody has to face the consequences for their choices in this life. If they weren't brought to justice in a prior life, they were brought to justice in this lifetime. Hmm. The divine feminine womb, giving birth, gestation period, birth, and first breath, new life. That was the intention here. That's why the universe is your partner. Somebody is getting consequences for their choices. And you are the benefactor of grace and generosity. And you're giving birth to this generosity. That's why you are being blessed. Yeah. And it's like someone needing direction, lost in space, straddling worlds, wandering between realms, between the 5D, the 3D, or actual lifetimes, going back and forth. Taking your power back in this lifetime. Crown games, people tried to take your power from you in a prior life. In this life, you're taking your power back. The right use of power. In this lifetime, if you have healing gifts, if in this lifetime you were imprisoned and persecuted in a prior life for your gifts, that's why you're giving birth to abundance of those gifts in this life. Because everything has consequences. If you have spirits telling me right now, this isn't going to be for everybody, but some of you, the father of your child in a last life is the father of that child in this life. It was unrequited love. And somebody made a vow to a baby. And they're in this lifetime. It's resonating. Moving out of stagnation. Things are being made clear. Love it. That's why in this lifetime, whatever is inspiring you is driving you to your inspiration. It's like many of you are very talented musicians, artists, creators, and music and your crafts and your talents bring you out of stagnation. It's like it calls to you. You know, it calls to you. Gathering around the power of community. Yes, some of you have a community that you go to or can perform in front of a community or should be. And maybe it is a community. Did you have that? Yes, you had communal living. So you're used to like partnering with people. You're used to living like with a spiritual team or people around you who all help co-create. And that is what brings you joy. That is what inspires you. Like I said, you could be a performer, you could be very talented, an artist, a writer, a musician, and it calls to you, and it's like you can't help it because you could be sharing with the community or part of a community that inspires you. It's bringing you out of stagnation, because there are treasures that are hidden in the shadows of all this that went on. And I think you're giving birth to those treasures. Watching your transformation, deep quiet meditation and stillness is important to you. That's why. It's like it connects you. It's like time to replenish this empty well. That's why you feel empty sometimes. And it's like time to replenish. I feel that in my heart. The caterpillar here with transformation, but it's like, I don't like that energy. I gotta be real with you. I don't like this. I don't like the energy. The card looks sick. It has like eyes all over it. It's creepy looking. I know caterpillars go through transformation, but in this case, this person was an opportunist. I don't even like looking. They're getting their consequences of their actions. It's like, it wasn't what it seemed. I'm hearing it's like the card of opportunity, but it's with like ugliness. It's an ugly energy. I don't like it one bit. Whatever it is, they're getting the consequences. You could have felt like you were disowned, you know? Hurt you to your core. A tidy house, clarity and organization. An unmarked trail. Trying something new, and this is this mindful, this is this group thinking. It's all here. Community is really important to you. You do your best when you're around a community of people. It inspires you, it connects you, it replenishes you. Yeah. It's the crossing. Initiation. New life. It's like the bridge is repaired for the crossing. And it is like preparations coming. It's from the other side coming here. You're on a new beginning. Like, I mean a new beginning. All your preparations are coming to fruition. You're totally connected here, Spirit is saying, and highly adaptable. And this ego has been smashed. The vanishing mirror. There is no more ego. You have confidence in your magic. You have the sword of truth, the sword of victory. It's been the perfect storm, whatever you've been through, because you have this new beginning. And it's herald of change. You're moving forward. You're getting to the farther gate. A bold step forward. Where are you entering? The Garden of Venus? Rest and renewal. It's all refreshed. It's a new birth. It's a new life with limitless possibilities. Stars in the sky. Libra, please. That's a lot of wisdom to acquire. Jeez, this is standing out at me. Remember I said trees were important to you? Won't be to all of you, but some of you. I told you trees were important. That tree was lit on fire as a witch. You were disowned by your community in a prior life and burned. Now, for some good news, Spirit. But it's really interesting. It's why we, in this lifetime, justice is so important to you. Truths are so important to you. You're drawn to certain things in this lifetime because of your past lifetime. It's almost as if, yeah, as above, so below. First card out, guys. It was a crime against you in a past life, and it has to be made right. Walking away. Walking away. Karma. Consequences. Drama. Conflict. Chaos. Walking away from it. Passionate new beginning and these blessings. That was finances in a past life are being returned to you in this life. You had finances in a last life, wisdom, persecution, and that's why you're being blessed in this one. And that's why people are watching you. Love, overflowing abundance coming toward you. Messages of love. Told you. Spiritual gifts, spiritual knowledge, and persecuted in a past life for it. You receive spiritual messages. You're a spiritual messenger. And I told you, it's karma. Whatever was stolen from you in a prior life has to be returned. Someone wants to apologize for breaking your heart. And if they do not do it, they're going to get consequences. This is the universe co-creating with you at this time while you do not have a partner. And maybe you do have a partner, but they are not very nice to you. They will get their consequences. This is karma playing out, guys. That's the plan of the universe. To give you your recognition, your rewards. Wow. Because likely they were taken from you in a past life because you had them. Happiness. 10 of Cups. There's that child, that baby. If you have a child, that's that in slavery, trying to trap you in your mind, in your thoughts, in this life. Mental prison. And maybe in this life, they got to go through the mental prison. Trapped in their emotions. Burdens. That's the consequences. Their choice in love. Don't know. It's you standing in your power, taking your power back, leaving the situation. All the things that were hidden have been revealed. This is justice for Libra. Justice being served for Libra. Oh, Jesus. In some cases, there was an actual hanging from these trees. And the torch is there. Okay? Some of you were put through grueling past life experiences, as well did many people endured these crimes that were against the universe, crimes that were basically for power. All this sadness pouring out. It's like that's why you're being blessed with opportunities and moving forward, leaving this tower to fall. Well, this person figured they'd be selfish, and it could have been with finances, you know, had the eye on the coin. You're getting it. And they're losing it. Yeah, that's you. Financially stable, financially happy, getting opportunities, moving forward. It's like there's that knight. Guys, some of you were knights in a past life, and this is the same knight in this life. This is the truth, Spirit is saying. You have the sword of victory. Someone decided to, I don't know, juggle you. Well, they're going to be financially unstable. There's a new beginning, a new world. Yeah, all the lies, the manipulation, the stress, all the swords. Leave them there. Third party, leave them there. Move forward. Somebody's saying to come out of hermit mode. Spirit's like, come out of hermit mode. Come out of hermit mode. You spent enough time there. You're a group-minded person. You love being around community, friends, family, associations. You should be in the public eye. If you're not, You're resilient. This is a soulmate connection lined up for you. And maybe you are manifesting it. You've learned to stand your ground. Yeah. It's like now they're angry at this decision that they made. That's the consequences. They came in between you. You're healing. This is going to the well to replenish, making a wish. Here's the past. I told you it was the past. To heal the past. The past. Learning to defend yourself and standing up for yourself and removing, because you're an empath, you were very caring and loving, and you're like have this, you could have these children now. You could have some sort of fame or fortune lined up for you here. Like a celebrity of some type, or just your own dreams coming true here. You could have these healing gifts from the past as well being transferred to you. And it's like, you're a go-getter, you're very attractive, and it's like Emperor looking at ending something, reaping what they've sown for the betrayal in this twin flame connection or this marriage connection. They hurt you deep. I'm saying about it that you're celebrating. You've got a solid foundation with or without anybody. It's a personal journey. And yeah, and now they're getting the consequences. The feast of plenty now getting, every choice has a consequence. Every cup you choose is not a good one, and the cup they chose was not a good one. They were dealing with an opportunist. And so, ay. They got to do their shadow work. I'm saying right now, those are the consequences. You are protected by the divine. You could be, here is, look at this divine angel standing in between the temperance angel, in between the king and queen of wands. Both go-getters, both similar soulmate connection here. A lot of passion, same energies, divine partners. Spiritual guides, spiritual union, balanced, equal, sent from your beautiful, beautiful angels for all the deception. Yeah. Working on it. Someone truthful is coming toward you to make you a love offer. And it is spiritual. It's a spiritual divine connection. Your counterpart. And now, might be a waiting game, divine timing. Or your ships are coming in. Because there is a truthful love offer coming in. You know, it's a shame, isn't it, what happened in prior lives, like years ago, how they tortured people and enslaved people and persecuted them for having healing gifts, persecuted them for their spiritual beliefs or their gifts that they were given from the Creator. That was ancestral wisdom passed down. Like, you know, if they saw you out in the forest one day or something like that, picking mushrooms or collecting roots for healing gifts. You might have been able to heal your village, you know, and then somebody reports you as being a witch because you're out collecting roots thinking you're a witch when you were actually had healing abilities and could have healed them of their ailments. Oh, 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 that is not cool. But people were ignorant in those days. I gotta say, like, there still is a lack of knowledge in today's world, but nothing like it was in prior days. You know, I remember reading a document, or not reading, watching a Natural Geographic um, film. Oh my God, I was a teenager. I think I was 14 years old. And National Geographic released this video of they were deep in the Brazilian jungle with tribes. Now, they had spent years there, the film crew, trying to earn the villagers' trust and respect to allow them to come into the village and film them. Well, here they had medicine people there, and they were showing the film crew then. Oh my God, that was like, oh my God, over 40 years ago. And these medicine people were showing the National Geographic film team what roots and what tree barks that they were collecting. My God, they stayed with them for a couple of years just learning about these villagers. And they were able to heal tumors and do operations and heal people of ailments from the roots and the barks of the jungles that they were from. And then they were showing in this documentary about they were actually watching how these people were removing cancerous tumors and why they were getting cancers and stuff like that. And the villagers took them to this clearing where they were brush burning all the yew trees, and it was the medicine of the yew tree that these particular villagers were collecting. And they were like sent away because of the same thing. They were pushed out of where those healing roots were. The jungles were being burnt up with all their medicines, and they were trying to explain this all to the film crews. And so these villagers kicked up a storm because that was their healing medicines that they were able to heal their village people from, that were being destroyed and burnt, and the villagers were pushed out further and further away. And so finally, they were losing the ability to heal the people because they could not find the medicines from the forest. And they had to find new areas, and they simply couldn't find them. And yeah, it's like that was like 40 plus years ago, guys. So imagine what it was like hundreds or thousands of years ago, how you were persecuted for having any kind of gift whatsoever. Like, man, healers are healers. And a lot of Librans, apparently from my reads here, are very gifted with healing talents, with medicines. A lot of you could have had traditions passed down through your lineage, things that you will recall, things that you were gifted at. You know, you're very gifted people. And you had finances in a past life, and you had wisdom. And anybody who had wisdom or knowledge of these things were usually persecuted. And maybe you were able to make money from it, or you had some sort of finances. And people persecuted people in those days. Like, you were held in suspicion, you know? And it's like, that's why a lot of you in this lifetime have experienced hardships, because it's almost like spirit is saying you're in a new world, you're in a new beginning. You don't have to have those, it could be past life attachments, like you've made phobias, you know, like fear of expressing yourself or fear of expressing your talents because of those things. It's a real challenge to overcome. It truly is. I feel a defensiveness, and you don't need to defend yourself. Spirit is saying they are defending you. You don't need to. They are. And rights, wrongs are being made right. I like it, Libra. So if you can endure stuff like that, you can endure anything this world offers you or is handed to you. That is a lot of ancestral wisdom, a lot of healing gifts. And if you guys are not tapping into your gifts, these are beautiful gifts. Spirit saying, don't be afraid to shine, because it's like you have this bright light and you will succeed. Take care.